Thanks so much for joining us here on 90s Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast, and we're back to our regularly scheduled smoky heat and with a few isolated storms in eastern Colorado. It's a bit of a conditional threat for today. Better chance for storms tomorrow and probably Saturday as well. So let's start things off by taking a look at what we're seeing outside. Lots of blue skies. Enjoy this view while we've got it because, well, those smoky skies are going to return later on this afternoon, especially late tonight and early tomorrow. We're going to get a surge of smoke coming in from the south from those fires in Arizona and New Mexico, and that unfortunately means we are going to be looking at more in the way of those kind of hazy, smoky skies. There is an air quality alert that is in place for the entire front range until at least 4 p.m. today, and I would imagine that will be extended into your day tomorrow. Now, it's warm and breezy at times today, but not as breezy as it was yesterday or back on your Tuesday, but still a little bit of a breeze. Isolated storms today, especially east of Denver, and that wildfire smoke, as mentioned, does return. You can start to see, kind of just barely pick out some of that smoke filtering its way on towards the north. If you look just kind of into far western Kansas, eastern Colorado, that's a little hint of that smoke that's rising on up, but also with that is a little bit of moisture that's kind of rising on up from northern New Mexico, and that'll give us just enough of a chance to see some stronger storms, mainly east of Denver, east of I-25, where we could see some large hail and some damaging winds. It is a conditional risk, and we get a little geeky on this for a quick second. Now, what's the reason why it's a conditional risk is we may not see any storms develop at all if we are able to break through the cap. That's a lid of warm air at about 20,000 feet above the surface. So if we can get enough rising motion to break through that lid of warm air about 20,000 feet above the surface, then we will get these storms to develop. But right now there is a cap, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a lid that keeps those storms at bay. So unless we get enough rising motion to break through that cap, we will stay on the calm side today. But if we're able to break through it, then we get some potentially stronger storms later on this afternoon. One of the keys as to whether or not we'll be able to break through the cap, the more energy you've got, the more potential you have for severe storms. So storms, we all like to eat, right? We need fuel. Everything needs some sort of fuel to run on. And what thunderstorms run on is warm temperatures and moisture. So the higher the temperature, the higher the dew point, the more energy you've got. And the more energy you've got, the better the chances you have to break through that lid of warmer air that I mentioned just a minute ago. So right now, 78 in Denver, low to mid 80s for us in the Eastern Plains. Though again, warmer it gets, the better chance you have at seeing storms today. So that's why I think the Eastern Plains may be looking at a better chance for some of those storms than the immediate front range. Today, I think here in Denver, we stay dry, we stay hot. 94 degrees. Isolated storms, can't entirely rule one out here in Denver. I think in Denver, we're probably looking about a 10, maybe 20% chance at a storm. But you head east of town, certainly out by Lyman, Fort Morgan, you've got better chances, closer to about 30, 40% chance of seeing a storm. But once you get to about Deer Trail, we'll call it Firestone, you get just east of the metro area, that's where you start looking at slightly elevated 20, maybe 30% chances at seeing a storm, as opposed to, again, pretty low odd here in Denver, about maybe 10, maybe 20% here in town. Today, mid to upper 90s likely for us here across eastern Colorado. Mountains not a whole lot cooler, a lot of 80s and 70s out in Telluride, 94 in Grand Junction. Very likely that we get up to 90 degrees again for us here in Denver today. That would make it our 7th day at 90 or above so far this year. And by the way, that would be our 6th 90-plus day so far this month, which is pretty exceptional. We've had a very, very warm month so far here in the month of June, and that trend looks to continue over the next few days. Now, as I mentioned as well, this is the other big story for today, is that we do have an air quality alert that is in place for ground ozone and for fine particulates from wildfire smoke, so limit your time outdoors. And by the way, I would say get outside kind of now if you're in the Denver area, because that smoke will be filtering its way on through over the next few hours, and that ground ozone will increase this afternoon as well. So again, take advantage of the morning and the better smoke conditions while we've got them right now, because as I mentioned, that smoke filters its way on in from the south and the west, and that smoke will be much more noticeable tomorrow morning. This afternoon, probably a little bit of smoke and haze, but tomorrow morning, you'll certainly notice it, and you probably won't be able to see the mountains tomorrow, and same on Saturday. So tonight, a few evening storms, temperatures in the low 60s for your night tonight. And for your day tomorrow, we're even hotter than today, 96 for us. Better chance at a storm tomorrow compared to today. And we'll also be looking at some breezy conditions at times once again. But the story for tomorrow, it is very hot, probably the hottest day of this upcoming stretch. A few of us here on the Eastern Plains, top 100 degrees. Would not be stunned if we get there in Denver. It's fairly unlikely, but here in Denver, we do have a chance at 100 again. Probably not. But we don't have to overperform by that much. We only have to overperform our forecast high by 4 degrees to get there. I've been oscillating between 96 and 97 for tomorrow, so wouldn't be surprised if we got up to 97 or 98. That said, showers and storms do move on in tomorrow. As I mentioned, tomorrow better chance at storms than today. Reason why? Monsoon kicking back into gear. That is that southwesterly flow that tends to lead these pop-up showers and storms during the summer months. And looks like that monsoon kicks into gear starting today a little bit in the southwestern mountains, but really for your day tomorrow is when we'll see those widespread storms. Salida on west to Montrose. By the way, if you're heading to Fibark this weekend in Salida, we do have a chance for storms coming up on Friday and Saturday. And if you're heading to the Stanley Cup Playoffs Game 2 for the outdoor celebrations there, right across the street from Ball Arena, or you're heading to Ball Arena proper, it looks even hotter than it was yesterday with a high temperature in the low to mid-90s coming up on your Saturday. Isolated storms around, especially during the afternoon, but I think we will have at least a chance at a storm around the pregame festivities and right around puck drop, and then we should clear things out pretty quickly right after the puck does drop. Temperatures again in the low to mid-90s for us in the Denver area, so make sure to drink plenty of water. I was there last night, by the way. Lots of water stations around, so just bring a water bottle, an empty water bottle, and just fill it on up, and just make sure you're staying hydrated and lathering lots of sunscreen, bring your sunglasses, bring a hat, all those sorts of kind of warm weather precautions. But get outside and enjoy the game coming up on Saturday. Storms around again both days this weekend, and then we do gradually drop temperatures as we get into the early part of next week. Temperatures back into the low 90s by next Wednesday. So kind of again those highlights and kind of big takeaways from your upcoming forecast. One, it's going to be very, very hot today, tomorrow, and Saturday and Sunday. So low to mid 90s for us. All those warm weather precautions. Again, limit your time outdoors. And the other reason why you want to limit those times outdoors is it's going to be so smoky starting late tonight and through your day tomorrow. And that smoke probably hangs around for your Saturday and your Sunday here along the Front Range. That said, as you get on up into the mountains, we do have some fairly widespread showers and storms. That is good news for the drought in that part of the state, for southern and western Colorado in particular, but it could lead to some obvious impacts, some hail, some gusty winds. In the mountains in particular, Denver, better chance for storms tomorrow and Saturday compared to today. Slight chance today, probably about a 30%, 40% shot tomorrow and Saturday, and that chance for storms sticks around into Sunday as well. Hopefully it gives you a pretty good idea about what to expect over the next few days. If not, Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin is in at 4 and 5 later on this afternoon, and also Meteorologist Danielle Grant is in at 6, 9, and 10 on the 9 News family of networks. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus, and have a great rest of your Thursday, and go Avs.